what you do this weekend have any effect on what happens in the weekend?
You know, it really doesn't have any effect on the national meet scene and getting onto the NCAA meet at the end of the year. The only way that it could have is if we were to beat Northern Arizona there, then that would be huge. We would get all of Northern Arizona's wins that they got out the pre-national meet, which is considerable. Yeah. The likelihood of that's not very realistic. You're really looking at a team that ran at the pre-national meet without David McNeil, their #1 runner. He was at the Commonwealth Games and he's returned back. I don't know if McNeil will run this weekend or not. They may keep him out of the lineup. They don't really have to have McNeil in there to win this Big Sky Championship, and they may keep him out and just run him at the regionals and the nationals.
So what do you hope to get out of this weekend?
You know, we want to run really well and kind of bounce back, as it were, from the pre-national meet. We felt our guys' team that we left the pre-national meet not really demonstrating how good a team we really are. We made a tactical error with our 2 front runners, and that really probably cost us maybe 3 or 4 wins over potential automatic qualifiers. And we've got to settle down a little bit at the start of the race and run a little bit more intelligently than we did at the pre-national meet.
Those 2 guys went out a little too hard.
They went out really hard, Tim. They're leading that race at the mile at 4:30, and that was just 15 seconds faster than they really should have been going that first mile of that race. They just were so pumped up. I think they were going faster than they realized they were going, and it really cost us in the second half of the race.
What about the girls? I know that the guys are ranked second. You want to stay up there, but what are you looking at?
Boy, it's the coaches picked our ladies to finish 6th, and that's kind of where I thought maybe it would be going through the season. But as a closer look, and we get closer and closer to this thing, it's very interesting that we could be in a great race for 4th, along with Northern Arizona. Surprisingly, nobody had NAU picked down that low, but it looks like if we'd have been going head-to-head with NAU at the pre-national meet, it would have been extremely close. It would have been like a 1 or 2 point meet between the 2 of us. I think we're in a really good scrap with there. The team I can't figure out exactly is Sacramento State, because we don't have any common opponents. We don't have any real good way to compare us with Sac State. And I watched them one year pull off a surprise of the meet when they got 2nd, and we had nobody had any idea they could do that. So they're a little bit on the scary side there. But we would also battle with Portland State and Eastern Washington, I think, and Northern Colorado. I think for sure that with a good meet, we're in front of those 3 teams for sure, but we could go as high as 4th and or 5th, and we could wind up 6th where the coaches picked us. But I really liked the way Heather Howe came together here this last meet at the pre-national. She started to look like the young lady that we saw last indoor and outdoor season.
Who else has made strides for the women since?
Boy, we've bounced around. We've had some different leaders every time. Becca Sorensen ran #1 in one of the races for us. Heather Demers ran #1 at the first race. We've sort of taken turns. We've had 3 different front runners every time. And what we just need to do is get everybody to pack up well, which they've done. They've been running under 30 seconds between 1 through 5. And they need to do that, but we just need to step up, and everybody's got to come up about 15 seconds faster than they've run for the year for us to garner the 4th place spot.
How familiar, is anyone familiar with this course?
Well, Coach Kennedy, in 2001, we ran the conference championships. We're at Fairways Golf Course in 2001. Obviously, nobody on this team is familiar with it. Lyle Weiss redshirted that year, so he's helped me coach. He's not very familiar with it. Julie Ham, who helps me coach, finished 9th in the 2001 championship. She's real familiar with the course. It's the same layout that it was in 2001, but we just don't have anybody on our team that has any experience on this course. But the same thing is going to be true with all the other teams that are in this meet. Eastern did not host a pre-conference preview meet on it, so no one's been on this course. All of us are going to figure this thing out on Friday afternoon and then come out and give it our best shot.
How high can Patrick
go? It's really interesting. He was 9th a year ago. Nick Atwood was 4th. What I would really like to see for those 2 guys is to break up NAU's first 5. It will be a gut-wrenching experience for everybody in the Big Sky if NAU goes 1 through 5 and nobody can break it up. On paper, it looks like that would happen. I think if our two guys run intelligently, they can break that up. They can keep NAU from going 1 through 5.